Hey Brad, a friend of mine filed for asylum in November 2018 and did the biometrics in January 2019. So how long will it take before filing for the work permit? Is it from the date the form was gotten? It says gotten, but I think it's received.
It's
received by USCIS.
180 days from the time it's received.
Biometrics?
No, when was the form received?
It doesn't say, but she's just asking, is it
180 days from the time you filed.
Okay.
You can file for your work permit.
Okay.
Marva is wondering if she could apply for U.S. status if she only has a visitor's visa.
That's how do I get a green card? I have a visitor's visa. That requires a consultation.
Bavin saying, I came here on a visitor's visa with family, but I overstayed here because my wife was pregnant. Now she's given birth to a baby boy. Anything possible to get a status or green card?
Yeah, let your wife, she's a citizen or a resident, let her file for you.
Loretta is saying, I got my combo pack. Can my husband and I travel to Jamaica for my daughter's graduation without a problem when coming back?
As long as you don't stay out for more than 2 or 3 weeks, you're fine.
After biometrics, what other documents to expect from USCIS?
A work permit, a travel document, and an interview notice.
Rose said, I went for my green card interview in March and was told that they would get back to me. I've yet to gotten anything from them. What should I do next? It's been since March.
If you have a solid case, it's March, April, May, June. You're at past 120 days, you file a mandamus. If you're on shaky ground on your case, you wait it out.
Rudra is saying, can I file for my adjustment of status again if I didn't show up for the first one due to some issues with my wife?
Yes.
Isha said, if the beneficiary has not yet received the work permit and then you get called for an interview with your spouse who is a U.S. citizen and you've got no documents to present them because you have no social to obtain anything, what do you do?
There's proof that you live together. You get a mail addressed to you. You can always file a tax return with or without a social security number. You can open up a bank account in a non-interest bearing account. As long as your spouse has a social security number, the bank will make a joint account with you. So there's lots of things you can do. Those are all not good excuses.
Karen Reed saying, can I file for an I-31? Is it I-130?
I-130.
Yeah, I-131, and while the I-130 and 485 is in process, and how long will it take if it's an emergency situation?
Yes, you can. The only emergency situation that they will make an emergency situation and expedite it would be same day would be a death in the family. Other than that, you got to wait out about 4 months.
Dari is wondering, would omitting a previous employer out of several be a bad idea? I have a kind of a bad history with one of my employers, and I just know that they're going to give me a bad report if the consulate or NVC contacts them.
That's a bad idea. You don't want to lie about employment history, and there's no such thing as employer says you're a bad person and now you don't get a green card. There's no such thing in the law that says that.
Philip McDonald saying, hey Brad, my wife came to my home country and I married her. She returned to the United States and I applied for a visitor's visa and was granted. But when filling out the forms, I was asked if I had any wife or close relations living in the U.S. and I stated no. I want to know if that will be a problem if I happen to visit and change my mind to marry her.
Well, she was not a close relative.
Mm-hmm.
She was a girlfriend. That's not a close relative. If you go and visit and you wait 90 days and then on day 91 you say, let's get married. Perfectly fine. If you say visit to the United States and on day 21 you say, let's get married. Not so good. Got to wait 90 days.
So, but it says that my wife came to my home country and I married her. And then she returned to the U.S. and then he applied for the visitor's visa. So
then he's a liar.
Right.
And he has a misrepresentation.
Right.
He's got a big problem then. I misunderstood that.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to contact us.
Yeah.
Dayal.
And by the way,
okay.
I'm not calling him a liar as a personality. I'm saying in that particular instant, he lied.
Right.
In USCIS's eyes.
You're a liar.
Right. We've got a question from Dayal who said, I've got a friend whose mother handed back their green card while they were a minor. However, his dad naturalized in 19...
I just want to say something also.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No.
Why is that important to USCIS in terms of him getting as a visitor's visa?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make this clear. If you go in and apply for a visitor's visa and the U.S. government knows you're married, you're not getting a visitor's visa because they're going to assume you're coming to go live in America with your wife. So he did it purposely. that person. I can almost assure you.
I have a friend whose mother handed back their green card to them while they were a minor. However, dad naturalized in 1996 before the friend turned 18 in 2006. So he was just 8 years old when dad naturalized. Would he be an automatic citizen?
What year did dad naturalize?
1996.
Well, only if dad divorced mom
Yeah.
and the child was living with dad, or mom died before 18.
So if child wasn't living with dad, but
How old is the child, by the way?
well, they turned 18 in 2006.
Okay, but
So now they're grown
when
ups
was the
then.
when was the child living with dad? Okay, so we
It
need to know
doesn't-
more
it
information.
doesn't say.
Okay, if the child was living with the father after February of 2000, in the legal and physical custody of the father as a green card holder after February 2000, that child's an automatic U.S. citizen. If the child was not living with the father, but the father would have had to have legal custody
Right.
of him through a divorce. Either way, the father needs to have custody of him when living with him. The only difference is after 2000, there didn't need to be a divorce.
I have a 3-inch neck tattoo of a feather. I asked this question once before and you told me to be honest about it, but I'm still uneasy after reading that immigration has gotten specifically stricter with tattoos of any kind. Should I cover the tattoo with makeup during the medical and interview?
I don't think so, but what is a feather? What is that? Signify something?
I think it's just the fact that it's a tattoo on your neck.
I don't.
You know, when you have a tattoo on your neck, it's, you know, they look at it as, you know, being unprofessional or just anything. They might, you know.
I mean, looks matter. I mean, you know, that's up to you. There's no such thing as you have a tattoo, you're denied.
I know. I can understand that because I have tattoos myself, and when I go into either an interview or anything of that sort, I do feel self-conscious about it sometimes, depending on what the interview is for. So I personally would say, if it doesn't matter, I would say cover it up with the makeup because it would make him feel more comfortable.
It's up to you. You can wear
You know what I
makeup.
mean?
Women are allowed to wear makeup.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
But even to your medical,
Yeah, if it's up to him, whatever he wants.
If it makes him more comfortable,
Yeah,
then
that
do
makes
it.
yeah, exactly. The most comfortable you'll feel is if you bring a lawyer. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, MS.
That's so true.
Emmett Bott, you're not gonna be worried about tattoos if you got a lawyer beside you. I'm just saying. Emmett Bott said, I came to the U.S. in 2012 from Africa on a K-1 visa. My fiance is a citizen, but after 90 days, we did not get married, and I'm thinking they got kicked out of the home, but I have a 5-year-old son and people have helped me. Is there any way that I can stay here and not go back home?
Well, if you didn't get married, then the only thing you can do is marry someone else if you fall in love, and they would have to do a provisional waiver for you to go home and come back. If you're married, different story. But if you didn't get married, you got a big problem.
What is INA 212A?
The Immigration Nationality Act. 212 is the inadmissibility statutes. So 212 says why you are not allowed to get a green card, why you're not allowed to enter the United States. It's a huge, long statute in like 10 pages long.
Yeah,
Because 212 is this is all the naughty things you can't do.
She gave us like the exact line.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just like the section and then the subsections, like A, 2A, capital A, 2, 1.
Does that mean anything?
I just, there's no way. There's no way.
If I had to take a guess, it's the drug one.
Okay.
If I had to take a guess. 212A2.
And you can Google that.
Yeah, you can Google it though.
You know what's amazing
Yeah.
is that like Brad is literally the preacher of immigration because it's like scripture. Like immigration law to you is quotable literally
Right.
verse and chapter.
That's
I love
too
it.
funny.
What is the best way for my mom to file for an extension for me? She's a citizen.
Extension for you for what?
I gave you all the information of Brad. I have
Mom
Brad.
doesn't file any extensions. You file extension if you're on a non-immigrant visa. It depends on what your non-immigrant visa is.
Pablo saying, I overstayed my J1 visa from 2015 and I'm about to submit a VAWA case. And on my form, the I-360, I checked yes, I worked without permission, and I also provided a reason as asked. Do you think that this could be a problem?
Well, he's adjusting his status based on marriage.
About to submit a VAWA.
A VAWA, it's not a problem. You working out a status is not a problem to you getting a green card on a VAWA case.
And our final question of this round is from David, who said, what is the thing that someone should do when having a first asylum immigration court interview? David from the Democratic Republic of Congo, living in Maine.
Get your story straight and be a credible witness. So what is a credible witness? A credible witness is somebody who has details. Think about, in detailed form, descriptions, adjectives, what it was like. A detailed witness is a credible witness. A witness that talks in vague statements is not a credible witness. So be detailed.